We're live. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Killer Author Club. We're here with the one and only Christina Dodd and her gothic set, nerve-shredding, edge-of-your-seat suspense novel, Forget What You Know. So we have lots to talk about. So grab your cocktail, your list of questions for Christina, and sit tight. We will see you on the flip side.
Thought you really loved me. Guess I was wrong. Thought you'd never leave me. Guess I was dumb. Waited like forever to be your plus one, but I guess you were done.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for being here. I'm Killer Kara, along with founding members Kimberly Bell, and Killer Heather Gudenkopf. And I'm not going to point because I always point the wrong way. Okay, and we're thrilled to have Christina in the Clubhouse. The Killer Author Club was established in 2022 as a unique platform for suspense and mystery fans to hear from their favorite authors as we chat about killing, of the fictional kind, of course. Each show features a killer author, killer cocktail, killer giveaway, and a fun, fast-paced study. Okay, during the episode, drop your questions in the comments, and though we can't get to all of them, we'll be choosing some to ask our killer guest. And come join the club. If you're watching this on Facebook or have a Facebook account, check out our public group, Killer Author Club. And if you're a hardcore killer, our private members-only group called the Killer Author Clubhouse, where we host our book clubs. And that's the only place you can participate in the book clubs. And we'll be chatting with Alex Finley about his phenomenal What Have We Done on May 30th. So that's something to mark your calendars for. We also have a YouTube channel. We're up to like 240 subscribers. So if you like YouTube and you want to stream us on a big screen, that'd be fun. Just go over and subscribe. We really appreciate it. And you'll find all of us wasting too much time on all the other social media channels. And we'd love for you to follow us there. Okay. Everything you need to know is on the Killer Author Club website, killerauthorclub.com. All right, without further ado, Kimberly, will you please introduce our killer guest?
I would be honored. So, a New York Times bestselling author Christina Dodd writes, according to Iris Johansen, edge of the seat suspense with brilliantly etched characters, polished writing, and unexpected flashes of sharp humor that are pure Dodd. That is according to Booklist. Her 58 books, 58, y'all, we're going to talk about that in a minute, have been called scary, sexy, and smartly written, also by Booklist. Much to her mother's delight, Dodd was once a clue in the Los Angeles Times crossword puzzle. Amazing.
The high point of my career.
So now, Christina, would you give us a quick little blurb about Forget What You Know, and we will talk more about this book in a minute.
When a priceless artifact is recovered from a sunken car, an unknowing flower breeder becomes the target of ruthless art thieves and false friends who stop at nothing to claim the dragon's heart. Forget what you know, but the past remembers.
Oh, I love it. So good. And I have lots of questions, but let's first get to the killer cocktail of this episode. Heather.
Yes. So please tell us why you chose the garden party as your special cocktail.
She is a flower breeder. That's what my heroine Zoe does. Is she breeds flowers. And so here we are with our cocktail. And I had my daughter make it up for me because normally I'm a wine person. But
Ooh, oh, it looks so pretty.
It is pretty. Wait,
Yeah.
I have to put the champagne in it.
You have champagne underneath your desk?
I need that desk.
Don't you, Heather?
What's wrong with you?
That's why I haven't written 58 books.
Oh my gosh.
Of course. There we go.
Okay, there we go. I heard the pop. That's awesome.
Amazing.
There we go. Okay. Am I the only one with the cocktail?
No,
Okay. Well, insulted here.
we're just waiting for you.
We would never make you drink alone. So cheers.
Cheers,
Congratulations,
everybody.
Christina, on
Yeah.
an amazing book.
Oh, gosh.
So good. So
All right.
Well,
When did it work?
people want to get a closer look at that recipe, you can find it on our Facebook pages, but also on the killerauthorclub.com, our website.
Yeah.
As well.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of recipes there now, which is
There are.
fun. Yeah.
I was thinking, oh my goodness, this is a lot.
Until the end of time.
We started during the pandemic, thus the cocktails, you see? Yes.
Yes.
All right, Christina, are you ready? It's now the time in our episode for the killer question. Okay, a book list starred review of Forget What You Know said, no one does high stakes, high voltage suspense quite like Dodd, and Publishers Weekly, I love this quote, wrote a touch of magic, a dollop of mayhem, a large splash of obsession, and just the right amount of sweet romance. So excited, like all the phrases, so amazing. But before we get to the book, we have one big overriding question for you. So tell us, when do you kill?
You know, there's absolutely no problem. If you don't get between me and my dinner, nobody gets hurt.
So you kill when you're hungry.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's totally valid.
Okay, is that in fiction or in real life? Just ask.
Well, you'll notice if you read my books, I very lovingly describe food. It's one of life's pleasures, and I like talking about it, and I like eating it, and I like cooking it. So that's what I do.
Yeah. Are you a gardener too? Is that where Zoe's?
I am. Yeah,
you are.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, it finally warmed up in Washington State. Finally, believe me, it's been a long winter. And so my husband and I went to the garden shop and we bought all kinds of stuff. And now I have 7 tomato plants.
I love it.
know so many authors who are also gardeners. What is it about that connection? I am not, so I don't know.
I don't know. It's just, it gives you, it's like, I like jigsaw puzzles too. It's something you do that you don't think while you're doing it, but things come of it, and that's always very interesting.
Do you think through your plots when you're gardening?
Not consciously.
Mm.
No, not consciously. But I think you have to have, authors tend to be very busy-minded people. I think you have to have that rest time of some kind to make it work.
And kind of like slowing things down a bit, like gardening, because there's the time that it takes when you plant, and then when you get that. Yeah, I agree. It's very fulfilling in that way, and it takes you outside of your head and into your hands.
Yeah. And you've accomplished something. It is like writing. You put something in the ground, and eventually you end up with a plant. It's like, well, it's a miracle.
It's a practice in patience, like writing.
Right. Yes. Right. Yes. I have never started a book where I didn't think, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done this before. It's always the same thing. And it's like, and then you just kind of put you guys know this, one word in front of another, and you finally have a book, and then you start all over again.
Really? Even after 58 books, you still have those moments of like, oh crap, I can't do this. I was hoping that would end.
Actually, I have 60 books because there's 2 in the can already. So, and then there's the, 2 I wrote before I was published. So.
Wow, that's amazing. So instead of the question, when do you write? The question should be, when don't you write?
No joke.
Oh, write all the time, all day long?
Oh, no. I try to write 10 pages a day. Sometimes that's 3 hours. Sometimes it's 12. Sometimes I don't make it. But I do kind of like to have a page goal, because if I have a time goal, I can screw around for hours.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea.
10 pages. How many words is that? Is that like what, 250 a page? So 2,500 words ish.
Oh, that's a lot.
Oh yeah, it is a lot. But and then of course there's the time off, I've been published. I was published on February 2nd, 1990 at 3:00. So 3 p.m.
That was your first publication.
That was the first when I got the phone call. And they said,
yes, yeah.
And so that was the day. But that's a long time. I mean, my God, people, that's 33 years.
Yeah. But that's more than a book a year. That's a lot of books.
Well, don't forget the short stories and the novellas.
They all count, right?
Real.
Yeah.
Okay, so someone in here, let's see.
Can I ask really quick before you get that question? So are you plotting or pantsing?
Oh, I am a plotter.
Plot.
I
Okay.
have friends who are pantsers, and I'm just like, I would be panicked. I could never write anything at all. What about you? See there?
They're pantsers, and I'm the plotter of the group.
Yeah. I like to know.
I'm trying to reform myself. I'm working.
Me too, but not really. It's too hard.
Jane Ann Krantz is a pantser, and she's written how many books? 200 or something like that. I think you can go ahead and just let it go. If that's what works for you, do it.
Right. I think you're right. Yeah. Everybody has their own process. If you get it finished, you get it finished. That's great.
Yeah, whenever somebody takes a rule like on Twitter or something, I remember a couple of years ago, some guy said, well, if you don't write every day, you're not a real writer. And I was just like,
yeah.
As long as you put words on the page, you're a writer. Just whatever works for you, do it.
Whatever works. Yeah, whatever schedule, whatever pace. I agree.
Yeah.
You just write, and if there's words coming out, you're doing a great job.
So so this is kind of on this question on the screen, but I mean, you write more books in a year than I do. I'm more like a book a year and a half. But some ideas come really fast for me, and I know exactly what my book is about, and then others take months to develop. It feels like, and I have a lot of trouble coming up with something original and fun, and that I think I can spend 8 months writing this book. Like, where do you find your inspiration? How does that work for you?
With Forget What You Know, exactly that book. I was hearing years and years and years ago about, people digging people out of a river or whatever, a car out of a river and finding a body in there. And here's this missing person. And so I started trying to plot that book, and I could never get it to come together. I literally been working on it for like 7 years, and I just couldn't get the plot to work. Wow. I finally did get it to work with all of the dragon's heart and the guy who was shot in the back of the head. There's nobody else in the car. And finally, after all this time, so it's not, for me, sometimes it's an inspiration, but frequently it's a revisitation of an idea I've wanted to do but haven't been able to put together.
Yeah.
If it's a good idea, sooner or later it might click, and it might not. Yeah. You all know we have more ideas than we could ever write.
That's true. The trick is, though, finding that magical combination of all the things that come together and make the whole story. Because one little idea, like, a body being pulled out of a lake or a river, isn't the story, right? It's all the other stuff around it.
All the other stuff. Yeah, but it's a great start, and there's a lot to be said for great starts.
Yeah. Well, speaking about great starts, you start the novel talking about like this legend of the dragon's heart, this artifact, and that's really important to the story. Is that based on a real legend, or is that something you created?
I totally created it. I was sitting there going, I need a statue or something. What am I going to do? And I'm looking around my office, and oops, I'm pointing the wrong direction. Here we go. And so
that's so awesome.
No, and it was. But the other inspiration, if you've ever seen the Maltese Falcon or read the book, that was it. You probably recognized it. That was immediately where I was going with it, and it was a lot of fun. It was a fun book to write, but a cast of thousands, that was the biggest problem. I don't like those cast of thousands books. They just are really hard to stop.
The really unique and fun characters you had, and I have to say, talking about Luca, who is Zoe's ex-husband, and I don't think this is too much of a spoiler, but he was a professional wrestler. And I got to say, that brought me back to my childhood when I used to go to my grandma and grandpa's house, and my grandpa used to watch, it was called All-Star Wrestling at the time, like in the 70s. And that was before it was fake. I'm sure it was all real. Way back then. And so what made you decide Luca should be a wrestler?
I liked and a wrestler. It was just, to me, the funniest thing in the entire world. It was that the story has always been, if your heroine's a firefighter, the hero had better be an arsonist. And to me, it was greatly amusing. And you know, you really had a lot of reasons to know that these people had marital problems, and you could certainly see why they would have. And you were kind of rooting for them to get back together.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are complete opposites in regard to their professions, for sure. So
I loved them together, and you know, the way that they were kind of they had a lot of humor in their, you know, retorts back and forth. But I loved Zoe's mother. It was Zoe's mother, right?
No, it was his mother. It was
His
her
mother.
It was her mother-in-law. It was her awful mother-in-law.
Hilarious. I loved her.
she was terrifying in all the best ways.
Exactly.
Zoe's mother was in there too, but I assume you're talking about the old lady.
Yes. Hilarious.
She was great.
She was great.
Okay,
Not
so
saying I've ever was related to anybody like that, but
yeah, you always have to say that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So you don't get sued, right?
Right. So
my
I love
grandmothers are gone, so it's okay.
I love the setting, Gothic, the town, and I love that the myth surrounding the city that you write is good for business. Can you talk about like why Gothic, why you created it, and did you spend time near Big Sur, and that's where the inspiration came, or?
I grew up in California, and yeah, I just, you know, I was in Central California, Sunnyvale, California, and
My dad was born in Sunnyvale.
really, oh my gosh,
Yeah, that's crazy.
we lived there. Yeah, we lived there until I was 11, and my family was always my expanded family. My dad's family was always camping and traveling, and yeah, I remember Big Sur forever.
Yeah.
And I wanted to build a town there, which there are no towns there, you know that. And but it was someplace to go that was just in my brain. It was during COVID.
Yeah.
It was, you know, someplace I could go in my brain, and it was just so wonderful and peaceful, and you know, and then violent with the weather. And it was also a town that I could isolate very easily because Highway 1 washes out on a regular basis.
All the time.
So,
And then rock slides and fires and all kinds of, yeah.
my husband, 2 years ago, my husband and I drove it from south to north, and it's really something. The one road, which I can't remember the name of it now, the cut crosses the Santa Rosa, no, not the Santa Rosa Mountains, I can't remember, but anyway, there's one that actually goes from the central part of the coast to Big Sur, and there's only one, and it's a little tiny road, and and I didn't know this, I wrote the book, and then there was a fire, and then the entire thing washed out for the first time in like 140 years. Mm-hmm. And so I was like sitting there going, I have a road that I'm talking about that's no longer in existence, and they're trying to get it done by this autumn, I believe. That was the last I heard. So we stopped on the road, and I walked up the road for a while and was kind of looking around going, I did a good job describing this.
Yeah.
Thank God for Google, right? And you can walk down the street and see how things are. And
well, it wasn't. We were just there. I don't.
Yeah.
Google for that. It's like the road itself. I can't wait to actually get to drive it. It's supposed to be one of the best motorcycling roads in the world, and so it's going to be glorious, and I can't wait to do it.
Do you motorcycle?
No.
I was going to say, wow.
She does it all.
It just sounds like a cool place to go. I don't mean I want to do that.
Right.
It's against my religion. I'm a confirmed coward.
I have these from, do you see this, the Post Ranch Inn? We went there during COVID too and stayed there. So this is like a water bottle from there. I love Big Sur. Like I could just, yeah, it's beautiful. And it's so specifically itself. Like there's no other place like that. We got engaged actually there. And anyway, okay, enough about the destination. There's other questions.
You know, we'd love to hear about your engagement.
I could go. Do you want me to tell you? No, I'm kidding. Okay, back to the book.
But it's funny though that like choosing a fictional setting for your book. I was talking to a book club about, because I've done that with one of my books. Most of my books are set in real places, but one I did a fictional setting, and it was nice because nobody emailed me afterwards to say that building is not there. It's, or you can't walk from this place to this place in 4 minutes. It takes you at least 20. Was that part of why
Oh,
you?
yes. I seldom have a real town. No, I fall into that trap. I try to make it always a fictional town. I've got Virtue Falls, which was on the Washington coast, and then I did a town in Alaska and Gothic. I definitely keep it fictional because that way you don't get kicked around too much.
Yeah.
I really expected Alaska was something else. That was I'm changing books here. Wrong alibi. And I like write the entire book, and then I said something on Facebook, and some guy comes in from Alaska, and he says, I said something about the sheriffs, and he goes, "There aren't any sheriffs here."
Oh. See?
Yeah, no, and it was one of those assumptions who I didn't even think to look that up.
Because who thinks to look that up?
I didn't, and so like I'm in there changing the whole book before it was published. Well, thank God, it's really.
What do they have? Just
it's the state police. There was actually a whole series about Alaska. I mean, it was fascinating.
Yeah,
fascinating.
Wow. That's awesome.
Okay, this is biographical again, but I read your husband built something special in your backyard. Is that something we can discuss?
Of course. Are you talking about the stone circle or the tree house?
Oh, maybe both. That's awesome.
I want to hear about both.
Me too.
We're on 2 lots, and I was looking out of the bedroom window, and I said, "Honey, you know what I'd really like is the stone circle." And of course, I'm thinking like some stones, knee high or something like that. And he goes, "Hey, I can use an excavator." So we have the largest stone is 5,300 pounds, and it is actually and he was a Boy Scout, and so what he did to set up the keystones where the sun's going to come up on the summer solstice, he put a hole in the middle of the circle, and he looked on the winter solstice. I hope I'm doing this right. And it was like the opposite way of that, plus an hour because we have daylight savings time. And so that's where he put the stones, and we put them in concrete. And so then we're sitting out there the first year going, wow, I hope this comes up in the right spot. And it did. I mean, it was perfect. It is every year we're out there, and it comes up perfectly in the right spot. But I was talking about it on Facebook, and one lady said, "Couldn't you just move your chairs?"
That's so cool.
Can viewers take a look at your stone structure on your website or anything?
It is on my website. Okay. Go ChristinaDodd.com, and then just do the drop down menu till you get to pictures, or just do opinions and stuff.
Yeah,
and you'll pretty fast. Do the search. Oh,
everybody's going to want to check that out for sure.
Pretty amazing. My husband, he has this attitude that he has to build everything to last as long as the pyramids. And so it's just, whenever I say something, I said, "Can I have a tree house?" It's like going to be there forever.
Great.
Love it. Love it.
So fun. Okay, so you have 2 books already in the can for coming out. So are you writing another one right now then?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I got about 2/3 of that one done too.
Okay.
So how long does it take you to write a book?
Depends on the book. Some of them are just harder than others. Yes. I don't know if you've noticed that. but yeah, I used to do 3 books a year. Now I'm more like 1.5 probably a year. And so but there's a lot to say, and I don't have. You just got to get it all out as much as you can. I like my characters. I like the humor. Keeps me busy.
Amazing.
Good advice.
That's awesome.
Amazing. I don't know if I'll ever get to 3 books a year. I don't know if I'll ever get to more than 1 book a year.
You all write some very serious suspense. I mean, you are really, really writing scary stuff. I don't know how you could do more than that. Doesn't it bother you to write some of this? I mean, do you have nightmares, or are you just writing your nightmares out?
Yeah.
I think so. Like, I mean, that would be my answer. Like, it's kind of, yeah, like it's processing what you actually see in the world and then bringing it out in a different way. And it's kind of
Yeah.
cathartic, I think.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
so.
I think so too. I'm somehow, I don't know how, able to keep a little distance from it. And writing about it is maybe a way of making it less close,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I write a really scary scene, I actually have to like do a few pages and then stop and go write something else.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm a
Kind
big
of
old
scare
scared
yourself.
cat. Yeah.
I scare myself too. It's, yeah. Then I have to like run downstairs. My office is upstairs. I have to like get away from my computer. Like somebody's chasing me, but they're not chasing me. But
This is kind of interesting because like I couldn't write funny to save my life. Like I just couldn't write anything funny. It would just fall so flat. So I'm so impressed with people who can translate their humor onto the page. It's an amazing talent.
It
So,
is.
yeah.
Agreed.
I don't know how else to do it. And there are people who just basically think I don't write real suspense because there is humor.
No.
But,
No, I mean, I was flipping through. I mean, I couldn't wait to see what was going to
I
happen.
know, same.
Yeah.
But there's very serious suspense. You know this.
Yeah.
Suspense and mystery writers are very, very serious people. And so, but people are funny. I mean, that's all there's to it. What can you say?
they really are.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, I think, we do write scary stories, but it can't all be scary all the time. I mean, I guess it could, but I like reading the stories where there's a mix, you got to lighten it up sometimes with other stuff.
But not Heather.
Yes.
I just can't do it. It just wouldn't translate well onto the page, I don't think.
I love humor. I love dark. I mean, I love that. That's
Dark
how
humor is a lot of
characters,
fun,
like kind of skedaddle. They kind of confuse you by telling you stuff like that. Yeah, I love it. Oh, and you know what, you guys? Oh, it's time for our next segment.
Oh no, is it?
Kimberly.
Oh wait, that's me. Hang on.
Kimberly.
Here it comes.
We're having so much fun.
I know.
Giveaway.
Oh, my goodness.
Christina is giving away one copy of Forget What You Know to a lucky winner. All you have to do is answer this question about our killer guest, and we will be picking from the correct answers around this time tomorrow. Bonus points if you join the club or subscribe to our YouTube channel. So the question is, besides being a world-renowned author, Christina is very proud of being a clue in which large newspaper's crossword puzzle.
No
If you
cheating.
don't know, when we're done, you can go back and watch and you will find the answer there. You have about 24 hours on any of the pages that we stream this to. So make sure to comment to be eligible.
Yes.
Good luck, everybody.
Sounds great.
Yes. And as you all know, the Killers love bookstores and your support of them. And so Christina has selected the Poison Pen bookstore in Scottsdale, Arizona, which I will be there next week. So I will
You will?
go see a friend. For the first time in forever, I'm not going to be at home in Iowa. I'm going to be like out in the
What are
world.
you going to do?
I have a friend. I have a good childhood friend of mine. So I'm going to go visit her, and I'm going to stop at the Poison Pen, who we all love, the Poison Pen. Why do you love the Poison Pen, Christina?
Oh, they sell so many books and it's so much fun. And when you go in there and you talk to the booksellers, they find out what you like, and then they start recommending books, and pretty soon you spend $100. So that's my idea of a good time. And God bless them. I go there and I sign books, and they sell my signed books. So if you want a signed book, absolutely get it from the Poison Pen. They're there. I think they're still there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're very good at selling books.
Yeah, then they're so great. Such great book people. And so we'll be dropping the link to the Poison Pen into the comments so you can order. It's already there. Checked out.
Kimberly's ready to
Book and any others that you wish to order from your list will be at the Poison Pen. So
Really, and they ship everywhere. They're excellent. They really, really are.
So another book you might want to pick up is by our very own Killer Heather. So, okay, this is our Killer Author Club Celebrate segment. And we can't invite everybody on the show but we are only 3 of us and we like to sleep and see our families. But we cannot let this evening go by without celebrating a very special release by our very own Killer Heather and the mass market paperback release of Missing Pieces.
Excellent. Good for you.
Publishers Weekly said in a starred review that Missing Pieces is a tale so chillingly real, it could have come from the latest headlines. So here's the setup. You guys are all going to want to grab one. Sarah Quinlan's husband, Jack, has been haunted for decades by the untimely death of his mother when he was just a teenager. Her body found in the cellar of their family farm. The circumstances a mystery. For years, Jack has avoided returning home, but when his beloved Aunt Julia is in an accident, Jack and Sarah are forced to confront the past that they have long evaded. Upon arriving, Sarah and Jack are welcomed by the family Jack left behind all those years ago. But as facts about Julia's accident begin to surface, Sarah realizes that nothing about the Quinlans is what it seems. Sarah dives deep into the puzzling rabbit hole of Jack's past, but the farther she climbs, the harder it is for her to get out. And soon she is faced with the deadly truth that she may not be prepared for. Such a great story, Heather. Congratulations.
Thank you. Like all kinds of murder and mayhem in this tiny little package of a mass market. So
it's a lot of stuff crammed into that tiny little package.
I love it. Is it a new cover or is it the same?
yeah, this is a new cover. Yeah, so very different.
Really
well,
pretty.
same colors, but they definitely a different image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
So
it.
exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's amazing. All right. So we have some swag. Membership has its privileges, y'all. Every episode we choose a name from the Clubhouse. That is our private group, Killer Author Clubhouse. We choose a member from the Clubhouse to win a piece of Killer Author Club swag. We have t-shirts, we have mugs, we have candles, we have totes, we have hats, cocktail cups, all of which can be found at killerauthorclub.com. Tonight's winner is Mary Fields Jackson. Mary, please send one of the killers your address and we will send you some Killer Author swag.
How cool.
Yes, and
We're full of surprises.
I want to know what the candle smells like.
It's unscented,
Murder.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unscented.
Blood?
Yeah, blood. Oh, that's good.
Oh, hemlock, maybe.
and people won't know unless they buy one. So of course,
There you go.
yeah, absolutely. Well, we have come to that time. I can't believe how quickly this time has
I know.
Christina, but we are so pleased that you were able to be here with us. And you are one of, I guess, is it 34? Was this our 34th episode?
Oh, goodness.
Right.
Fourth episode, the 34th author who has survived the Killer Author Club. And as a token of our appreciation, we bestow upon you the Killer Author Club I Survived badge, which you can print out, cut out, and put it right there on your shelf next to the dragon and with all your other accolades. But we are so grateful that you took some time to spend with us, and we got a chance to get to know you and your books, and so much fun. And we have lots to aspire to. Get up to at least 58 books. So we have to get
Right.
Thank you for having me. This has been delightful, and it's just been great to meet you at last.
Yes.
So great. So great. And thank you for helping spread the word about Killer Author Club. We really appreciate that
Yeah,
too.
for sure.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, guys.
Your
Whoops.
promo video was so brilliant. I mean, I'm so
Well, I think you kind of stole the show.
Yeah, you did. 100%.
We loved it. We loved it. If you guys haven't seen the reel that we did to promote the episode, you've got to watch it all the way to the end and see Christina's surprise.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. All right, you guys. So that's it for tonight's episode. Sorry we're a little long, but we had a lot to talk about. Thanks for being here and tuning in. And thanks, Christina, again. We're back in 1 week, even though it's supposed to be every other week. We're back May 9th, same time, same place, with endlessly entertaining Taylor Adams talking about The Last Word, a Book of the Month Club pick. And we can't wait for that. We are back. Okay, so all right. Well, sorry. And also, we're back for the next book club, What Have We Done by Alex Finley, and that's on May 30th. So don't forget to mark that down too. We have endless authors and guests for you guys. So thank you for tuning in and being with us. For time, schedule, past episodes, recipes, merch, all the good stuff, go to our Killer Author website, killerauthorclub.com. My goodness. And that's it. And we will see you back here next week.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
I guess I'm a killer through a